We're a bit bigger than you.
You usually are anyway.
Look at us.
Hello, Kevin here. We are still in
Itchen Abbas.
Itchen Abbas. We've actually been to the pub.
Yay.
But this is the last video of the day, and we are in front of, or by the lich gate of, let me show you, St John the Baptist Church of Itchen Abbas. So as I say, this is the lich gate. There's Commonwealth War grave as well. There is some engraving up there, and I cannot read that.
It's something about 1933.
Yeah.
Grateful memory of our parents, Henry Thomas Gism, and Annette Ellen, his wife, 1933.
Gilson.
Gilson,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Gilson.
So are we going to go in?
Yeah, we're going to go in.
We're going.
Shall I go in?
We're going ahead.
Oh.
I seem to remember this is...
Tap into the pub.
That reminds me of a church where a lich gate at the church at Kingsley in Hampshire.
Oh, yes.
And exactly the same thing happened. So here we are. Steve's having a look at the war memorial there. We've come through the lich gate, which is oak and tiled roof. So let's have a look around here. We've got typical yew trees, many gravestones. We'll walk up the path going in towards the church. Although there's been a church at the centre of worship since the Norman times and probably earlier. The present building dates from around 1862. It's, as you can see, it says primarily of stone. Well, so what I read was primarily of stone, but that actually looks like flint to me, with stone buttresses under a tiled roof. I think it's got a bell cot here. It's got a Norman Chancel Arch. But as you can see, it's still a very sunny, hot evening. And I think it's something like about 5:30 at night, so at the moment. In some of the notes I've got, it's actually described as a modest but thoroughly realised work of Romanesque Revival, with the character of the building of a cruciform plan. It is that cruciform shape and the magnificent barrel vaulted roof that are the features which have governed the reordering project carried out in 2009. So let's just have a look around the outside first. We've got this huge tomb here. As I mentioned, it's a flint design walls with the stone buttress in the bone, and the stone surrounds to the windows. We've got a brick gully for the rainwater. So this is the east end of the church. There's the rather magnificent bell cot. It's got 3 bells in, I think. You can almost feel that it's got this cruciform feel to it. So I'm on the west end of the church now. I can't get much further back because I'm actually right up against the hedge of the property behind me. So I'm actually below the bell cot. I think it's strange where it's described as primarily built of stone, which clearly it's not, because these are all flints. Unfortunately, we've got some sort of a motor going down to my right hand side here, but this is much more modern, this side here. Very modern windows. This is a graveyard here, and as you can see, I've only got this small area to walk round in. So not very easy to get away from the church at all. So I think I'm now on the south side. We've got a small doorway there, and above the flint you've got these sort of shaped arches in the stonework. So there I am, I'm right the way round already. So this, you know what, I'm completely lost at the moment with the position of where I am. Yes, this is the south side, which is what I thought it was. And the sun's directly into my face, so I'm having to cover my eyes, unfortunately. Well, we're just about to go into the church and going through the south door, and there is a notice on the door: welcome to Itchen Abbas. There is plenty to see in the churchyard. The tombstone marking the grave of John Hughes is under the old yew tree in 1825. Hughes was the last person to be hanged in England for stealing horses. The rector, Robert Wright, paid for him to be buried in the Itchen Abbas churchyard. So we need to try and find that underneath the yew tree. Well, Steve said he's found the grave of John Hughes.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, shadows all over it. So this is the grave of John Hughes, paid for by the rector to be buried in the churchyard. And he was the last man to be hung for stealing a horse. Quite incredible when you think about it.
Well, you think people were sent to Australia for stealing a loaf of bread?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were starving.
Yeah. We're just wandering back down through here before we go into the church to see if we can find this Commonwealth War grave. Steve and I think it's that one right down in the corner, but we're not sure.
That's it.
That's it. Yep, this is the one Steve and I thought it might be. There it is.
Father and son.
Oh, yeah, father and son's there. So in memory of Anthony Douglas Brodie, Lieutenant A, RNVR, killed on active service in 7th July 1942, aged 35 years, and his son Peter Bellinger Brodie, Lieutenant Royal Navy, killed flying from HMS Hermes, buried at sea, 3rd of February 1967. Wow. Actually, next door to them we've got Sir Richard Vere Henry Levinge? Something like that. Well, that's great. We found the Commonwealth War grave, but I've just been told off by Cynthia for getting the lieutenant and lieutenant wrong. She said to me, what a nationality are you? I said English. She said, well, you need to get your lieutenant and your lieutenant right. And she said, I've pulled you up on that before. Hey, see, I told you, I can't win. I can't win. I get told off for everything. No, I don't really. But she's right. I need to get she said, you're watching too many American war films. Well, I watched one or two. Anyway, let's go in and have a look inside the church. Ooh, very dark. Let's do that. And we've got a font just inside the door. Oh, hello.
Do go on in.
Oh, thank you.
There's various lights if you want to.
So here we are. We're inside the church now, and a lady was just about to lock up, and she's just coming through the door now, and she's going to try and remember some of the history of the place.
Oh, right, yes.
So if you don't mind, that'd be wonderful. Can I ask your name?
Joan.
Joan.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Joan.
Well, there's been a church on this site since 1092. It was demolished in the 1800s and rebuilt. And then around the millennium, I'm not sure exact date,
Yeah.
we totally refurbished the church to make it more user-friendly.
Yep.
We've got the opportunity to move all the chairs into any formation.
Okay.
And on a Monday morning we have mothers and babies here. And once a month we have a lunch for the elderly.
Yep.
And it's part of 3 other churches in the valley. Easton, Abington and Martyworthy. And so all the churches are quite different, but this is very user-friendly.
Yes, indeed.
Good central heating, it's warm.
it's very sort of central to the community.
Yes,
as a whole.
It's very available. We have a donation box for
Yeah.
the local pantry, and during the cold winter, it's heated and people can come in and have. There's usually coffee and tea laid out.
Yeah.
We've got a little kitchen and a toilet. The office for the 4 churches is there.
Yeah.
We have an administrator who takes care of it all, and very good.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Is that all right?
So do services get held here every weekend, or is it split between
it
rotates with the other churches?
Yes, the whole programme of services for July
Oh, I
will
see.
be here.
Yeah.
I mean, this coming Sunday, which is the 9th, we start off with Holy Communion.
Yeah.
And then we offer coffee and croissant. Our rector, the Reverend Peter Walker, he will do some teaching. And then it continues with an all-age worship service at 10 o'clock. And then we have coffee and biscuits and things afterwards. So we've got a whole range of services.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's
And
caters for everyone.
and is it well attended? Are the
Yes,
are the churches all well attended?
Yes, they are.
Because you often hear about the attendances are going down in churches.
Yes. No, I think we've got a very vibrant community
Excellent.
here. And we're doing lots. We have a cafe church.
Yeah.
We have the Ark to try and encourage young people.
Yeah.
Although, of course, it's difficult with all their commitments over the weekends.
Of
with
course.
their sport
Yeah.
and everything.
Yes,
So-
of course. Yeah. Brilliant.
Fine.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, not at all.
Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was lovely that Joan was able to give us a little bit of detail about the church and what goes on here. Here we've got this fairly simple looking plain font that is just inside the door. But as she was saying, they've got no pews here. But the idea is that they've got all these chairs that are on either side of the nave, and they've got more behind here, underneath the sallies for the bell cart. But they can put the chairs out as to whatever their needs are going to be. And I think that's brilliant. So it's a really community hub-based church. And as she said, it's very important to do that. We've got these lovely stained glass windows on the west end of the church. And I can't get any closer than that because of the chairs, but Cynthia and Steve will get some photographs. And we've got this interesting banner here. And it says the 21st anti-aircraft section. So I'm assuming from that there was an anti-aircraft section around here. Another stained glass window there. So let's just have a look round. As Steve was saying, look at this ceiling. And I honestly don't know how Steve and Cynthia are going to take a photograph of this, because that's not going to be easy. So we're in the nave, and I'm heading towards the chancel. A very big, wide arch. Steve's just standing in near where the altar is at the moment, but very wide arch, but not that high compared to some of the churches that we've been in. Again, another stained glass window there. And then when you come into where the chancel is, it's very small chancel. but nonetheless it's very, very nice. You haven't got stained glass windows behind the altar, which is for the east end of the church, which is quite normal. And these are just, well, not plain, they are sort of, can't describe it really, the way they are, the way that the glass has been made for the chancel window. Now, it's not totally clear, but when you look at it, it's almost, but not magnified. It's a strange mix of glass. But a different concept for the timbers in the roof compared to the nave area. There is no piscinas and there's no aumbrys here, which is interesting. But as I turn from the chancel area, I'm standing underneath the arch looking back towards the west end, and again my eyes are attracted to these timbers in the roof. Just look at this. It's rather incredible. To the south and the north, you're almost looking at an upturned boat. Slightly different arch, I think, to the main nave area. But Steve and Cynthia said just now that this church has got a different feel to it, completely different to the churches that we've been in before. It's quite airy, it's quite spacious, very light with the lights on, but a lovely feel to it. Yeah. What do you two think?
Yeah, no, I think
it's really nice.
It's got a family feel to it.
Yeah.
Very good way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very nice feel. But here we've got the list of the rectors of Itchen Abbas, and it ranges from John de Leckford in 1280 all the way down to Peter Walker in 2021. Just look at that. Isn't that remarkable?
I think over here, Kevin, there's something that sort of properly sums up. And it says at the bottom there, the whole community benefits from this inspired transformation.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Arches. Yes.
Where are we? Well, we finished at John the Baptist in Itchen Abbas. We were very fortunate that Joan came along when she did, and she gave us some really useful information, and she was a bit nervous about being filmed, but she agreed to do it, which was great. It just adds that little bit more content for our videos and makes it a little bit more genuine feeling, if that's the right way of putting it.
More informative.
More informative. Thank you, Cynthia.
That's okay.
So this will be Kevin, Cynthia and Steve saying bye-bye, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Hello. If you've enjoyed Kevin's video today, why not subscribe to his Kevin's Rambles YouTube channel, give us a like and follow us in the future, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.